like, sis, in this century, like in this age, you're still using nail to hang your hairs. Like, what's the problem in particular? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Akari Sibal, and this is the first time you're seeing this place on the streets of YouTube. Please don't make it your last. Go and click on that subscribe button. And if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back to see this pretty face. So this video I'm going to be doing today is not a requested video, but it's an error I see a lot of people make, and I just decided to come here to set the record straight. So if you don't know, I'm a hairstylist, and each time, literally every week, I get someone bringing a hair to me because their closure is torn. And 90% of the times, what tears their closure is either they hang their hairs on nail or they're using iron to iron their closure. And I'm like, sis, in this century, like in this age, you're still using nail to hang your hairs. Like, what's the problem in particular about the iron to iron your hairs? I feel like I'll address that issue in another video, but sis, in this century, you're using nail to hang your weave on. You spent over 50k to buy a weave on, and you cannot spend money to invest in a storage unit for the weave on. Like, how does that even relate? Like, how does that work? Please, this needs to end in this century. It needs to end now. Why am I saying this century? That's why I said to do this video, basically on methods to store your hair, cheap methods to store your hair, affordable methods to store hair, just everything that has to do with that. So if you know this is something you're going to be interested in watching, please keep on watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and let's get into today's video. Hi guys, so the first method I'm going to be talking about here is your wig stand. Personally for me, I tilt towards wig stand. As a matter of fact, it's wig stands that I use to store my wigs. I will insert a clip of how I store my wigs with a wig stand, but basically I tilt towards this wig stand because first of all, it's collapsible, meaning you can easily detach it and attach it whenever you want. And secondly, it's cheap. This wig stand here, as at when I bought it, it was going for about, I think, 800, but now it's retailing for about 1000, which is still quite cheap. It doesn't take a lot of space. You can travel with it. It's travel friendly. You can easily take it like this, put it inside your bag, and you're good to go. This mannequin head, on the other hand, is about, it retails for about a 3.5, and I feel like 3.5, if you have 10 wigs, you have 15 wigs, using 3.5 times how many, it's not realistic, and this takes more space than this. It's scary. See the face, it's actually very scary. So I tilt towards it, and it comes in different colors. So this mannequin head just comes in this color, but this comes in different colors. So you can actually tune it to fit the aesthetics of your room. You can put it on any stuff. You can put it on top of your wardrobe. You can put it on floating shelves like I did to mine. You can put it anywhere, and it's cheap. Personally for me, I don't store bouncy hairs on my wig stand. I'll bring it to where I store my bouncy hairs, because if you store a bouncy hair on the wig stand, it loses its curls. It loses its bounce. Like, it begins to straighten out. So most times bouncy hairs, and it's best not to hang bouncy hairs. If you can't afford a wig stand, you can hang your wigs at the tip of your wardrobe. Mind you, the tip of your wardrobe, you have to be careful enough to ensure that there are no nails or there are no wood that can rip your closures on there. But you can store your wigs at the tip of at the edges of your wardrobe. I'll insert like a clip of how I put mine. The downside to this wig stand is, I feel like it takes a lot of space, meaning that how many wigs you want to store, you can store only 1 wig per wig stand. So if you have 10 wigs, how many wig stands are you supposed to buy? How many surfaces are you supposed to put them on? Personally for me, I don't store my wigs at once. The wigs I'm wearing for the week is what I put on my wig stand. The rest of them, I put them inside a bag. So that is that. So this brings me to the next place you're supposed to be storing your wigs, and that's either on a satin bag or Ziploc. Personally, for my bouncy hairs, I prefer to put them in my satin bag or my Ziploc. This satin bag, I personally got it from a hair I bought from CM Hair by Hills. But if you don't have a satin bag, you can opt for a Ziploc. This particular Ziploc, it was a customer that brought it for me, and apparently she got it from Shein. So in case you buy clothes and it comes in a Ziploc, you can easily see the Ziploc for this. This helps retain moisture. Unlike the wig stands, once dust touches your hair, it touches your hair and it dries out your hair quickly. But satin bag, on the other hand, it helps retain moisture. The downside to this satin bag is, if you store a straight hair in a satin bag, when you bring it out, you have to straighten the hair back because it's going to lose its form. Unlike wig stand, I can just put my straight hair on my bob hairs on my wig stand, and the next morning if I'm rushing to school, I can just wear it and it takes its form back. But on a Ziploc or satin bag, I have to straighten it out. If you're traveling and you want to transport your hairs from one location to the other, it's best to store your hairs in a Ziploc or a satin bag, because Like I said earlier, it helps retain moisture. And second, it's just very travel friendly. If you're storing a bouncy hair in a satin bag, please ignore how this hair looks. But if you're storing a bouncy hair in a satin bag, you first turn it in out. That's if you're traveling with it. I was saying, you first turn it in out. So if you're traveling with your wig, this knot does not apply for only bouncy hair. If you're traveling with any wig, you turn it in out. But for bouncy hair, you turn it in out. Put it in your satin bag. As you're putting it in your satin bag, you're trying to twist it. Okay? Yeah, that's the front of it. So put it in your bag, you're trying to twist it. If it doesn't retain the twist, no problem. It doesn't really do much. But sometimes, if you can use your flexi rod to store it, it retains the bounce better. Twist it in and put it in your bouncy hair, and that's all for this thing, for the satin bag. And this also applies for your ziplock, and it doesn't consume space. Like, this is just the perfect way to store your bouncy hairs. But for straight hairs and bob hairs, I can't say the same about that. So that's the second method to store your hairs, either in a ziplock or a satin bag. Brings me to the third method. The third method of storing your hair is what we use in what you call big bags. You know how this big bag is looking. I don't use it much, that's why it's this squeezed. But this is more or less like a storage unit that can take more than one wig. So it has like a hanger situation sort of inside where you put your wig and you clip it in. So this can store, I think, 3 wigs at most. It can store 3 wigs, I guess. It can store 2 to 3 wigs basically. I don't think it can take up to 4 wigs, but this wig bag, I don't know how much it retails for. I'll check. I think it retails for about 2,000 or 8,500 thereabout. The good thing about this is that it doesn't rip your closure, meaning you can just fold your hair into 2 like this and clip it on the hanger. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. Just clip it on the hanger and zip it up, and your hair is good to go. That's the good thing about this. The bad thing to this is it's not really that aesthetic to me. I feel like it was spoiling the aesthetics of my room. That's why I took it out, because it's just looking very I don't know, maybe personally for me, because I don't like it, that's why I don't use it. But you can store 3 to 4 wigs and it goes very well. It doesn't scatter your wigs, and it works for a bouncy hair also, because you're putting inside a surface, you're not hanging it like that. I can't really say it works for a bob hair, because this kind of thing, it will make your bob hair come out back, but that's not a problem if you can straighten your bob hair back. This is a wig bag, and this is another option of how to store your wig. And the last option, I feel like I'll insert like a clip of that option. It's more or less like a wooden structure or like an iron structure. Either ways, I'll insert like a clip of how both of them are. That iron structure, I don't know if you know that needs use and store spoon in the kitchen. There you can use that to also store your wig. But when you're storing your wig like that, you dare not use your closures to hang it. I repeat again, you dare not hang it with your closure. It may look as though it can't rip your closure, but I feel like it still has the chances of ripping your closure. See, closures are very expensive at this point in time, and you have to treat your closures like eggs. You have to guide them a lot. So if you're storing it with the iron one, don't dare use your closure to store the wig. Rather use the band of the wig. If you don't have a band on the wig, go and give it to a hairstylist to attach the band. The band also helps in storing your wigs properly. So you're using the band. If you have limited options, and it's that nail that you say you must use that nail to store your wig, sis, please don't use the closure to hang it on the nail. Use the band of the wig to hang it on the nail. So either you're using the wooden structure, and set a clip of the wooden structure, of the iron structure, or a nail. Either ways, use the band of your wig. Do not use the closure. If people like me, I don't mind chopping your money. If like rip your closure every week and you bring it to me, I don't mind chopping your money. But it's not just realistic having to sew your closure and stitch your closure. After a while, the closure will wear out. So please, to prevent this, just stop storing your wigs on nails with your closure or sharp surface. Even your wardrobe edges, like I told you about, or door edges. Or if you're storing it on door edges, please don't close your door. Your wardrobe edges, please don't close your wardrobe. But just basically edges that you know that can store wig, just store it with the band or with the cap, but do not store it with the closure. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Ignore the fact that I'm sweating. I have to put off my fan for the purpose of this video. So I do hope you learned something from this video, and please stop storing your closures with your nail, or with your closures. Stop storing your wigs. Stop storing your wigs with nail. It does not make no sense. So thanks a lot for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.